All right, all right, all right, all right. Not going to be Matthew McConaughey there at the beginning. How's it going, everyone? How is it going? What is going on? We are here back again, as we always are. Of course, my eye gets itchy right as I start. We're back again looking for the Tepig. We are constantly on our grind, trying to get this dang Tepig to shine. And yeah, we're here once again. We are closing in on 7,000 encounters. We are getting ever so closer to hitting odds. I was yeah, I won't say too much. I probably need to stop speaking on it because I'm probably jinxing it. I am probably just casting ill will down on myself by constantly begging Arceus for the hunt to be a little quicker. So no more that we just hopping into it. We gonna get this Tepig one way or another. When it shines, it'll shine, and we'll be very grateful. What did I just smack? I guess I smacked a little volume knob there on the microphone. I was like, what was that? We'll be very grateful for whenever we get it. But how is everyone doing today? What is up? What is up? How has the weekend been for everyone? It's been a roller coaster of a weekend for me. I've had incredibly productive beginnings to my day. You know, Friday and Saturday both started off super productive, trying to get stuff done personally around the house, this, that, the other. And then Friday ended off weird. I don't know, it was so strange. I was like super productive all morning, and then like I like hit a wall at the middle of the day Friday, and I just could not bring myself to like get anything else done the rest of the day. And yeah, started feeling real weird. It's just, existence is weird. Existence is weird sometimes. And then yeah, Saturday had some more stuff to get situated and organized before I had some friends come over to watch football. And shoot, that was an experience and a half. That was an experience and a half, to be sure. Be whatever the word is I'm looking for there. It was an experience and a half, the Georgia versus Texas game, because wow. Yeah, if you're not a college football fan and you don't know what was up, I mean, if you are a college football fan and you're watching that Georgia-Texas game, that second half was a roller coaster of refereeing bull crappery. Like, my lord, that was, yeah. At least Georgia came out with a win, so, you know, that's always good. That is always good. Omar, what up, what up? How is it going? How's it going? It's been a second. How's everything been? Every day will be the day, and one day we will be correct on it being in fact the day. Let's see, not to you at least. Soft reset. Encounters, bada bing, bada boom. And then yeah, this morning's been it's been a lazy, well, I guess I can't say I've been overly, I mean, I've mostly been laying around all day today, just kind of relaxing, but I did go out and about earlier, go shopping while Emily is still out of town. She'll be back in a little bit, but had to go shopping to grab some things for her while I can get away without her. Had to go acquire some items for Halloween. I gotcha. What's been occupying you? I can't remember. Are you still in school? Is that what you've been having going on? A lot of school stuff? I cannot recall. I try and keep all that straight with everyone who comes on by, but it sometimes, unfortunately, it does start to bleed together, and I'm like, I cannot remember what everyone's got going on. Work stuff. Okay, see. Sorry about that. I feel that this past week was also weird for me with work. I had to go into the office, which is not typical for me. I had to go in for training, and that whole training was an ordeal and a half, because it was like practical training to like safety management kind of practical training, and yeah, there was a whole dressing out portion and safety garments, and yeah, it was an interesting week because, you know, on top of having to do a training all week for work, I'm still somewhat expected to maintain my work duties during the, you know, like 1 hour outside the training of work time that, you know, I'm free. So it was a week. It was a week for sure, but yeah, we persevere. We keep going. Hopefully this coming week will be a little less hectic, a little more mellow. Can only hope. Can only hope. Down a tiny bit. I think I can move that one down too much more. What would certainly be a nice cherry on top of the weekend would be finding this here Shiny Tepig. That would very much make my weekend a real nice little treat for us. Haven't hired some company coming in and how lately. Yeah. Higher ups. higher up management. They are certainly something when it comes to work. They are generally not fun. Generally not enjoyable to be around. Managed to get an opening for the... I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that is. Nekopara, is that a game? Haven't heard of it before. I haven't had a song stuck in my head in a minute. It's been a while since I had anything really stuck on the brain. I always like when this song comes on in the stream music playlist. I don't know, something about this fighting type Pugilis from Pokemon Conquest. I like the beat. I like how it rides. Yeah, they got like... Oh, interesting. No, yeah, never heard of it. I would assume it has a catchy soundtrack though, if it's stuck in your head. Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't really dabble in the in those kind of games. Never really have. Never been. Always been. I mean, I guess I don't know. Some League of Legends character designs could potentially be considered not safe for work. The toxicity and the way people act on League of Legends is definitely not safe for work. Yeah, I don't got much else on the brain today. It's been I almost completely forgot I scheduled the stream, to be honest. I was watching the Buffalo Bills game against the Tennessee Titans, and the game was wrapping up as like about to hit 4:10. And I'm trying, in my head, I'm mentally like, all right, what am I going to do now that this game is over? What am I going to occupy my time with? And I'm like, I take my dogs out and, you know, I'm just walking around the house, and then I'm like, oh shit, I scheduled a stream, didn't I? Like, that's what I'm doing with my time. I forgot about that completely. So luckily I remembered in time to come actually, you know, set up, and I was actually early, which is surprising. I was able to get on here and get everything set up and get started. I think I was like a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes early or something like that. Interesting. Dropped some frames. Wonder what happened there. That is not something that happens to us too often on this computer. Or something's up with the internet at the moment. I don't actually. I don't. Does anyone actually do the musical stuff in Nimbasa City in Black and White, Black 2, White 2? Like, does anyone actually care about that? I don't think. I just can't imagine too many people. I mean, maybe some younger children, possibly. I don't. It just doesn't seem like a feature that would be fun to dabble in the game. It seems a little I don't know, boring. But to each their own. I mean, I guess if you like dressing up your Pokemon and having fun with them, and everyone's got something. All right, let's see. 2 more pigs. 2 more that are not shining for us. Smack my hand on the desk. I'm trying to save this box of Pokemon cards back here for a special occasion, but I'm getting real I'm getting real tempted with it just sitting there, just calling my name. Especially because it has Sword and Shield era packs in it, so I'm like, those are enticing. You know, the alt arts from Sword and Shield are very enticing to try and pull. Very fun. It's been a hot minute since I pulled a real. Well, I guess last time we opened cards on stream, I did pull like Gardevoir, which is pretty cool. But it's been a minute since I pulled a real good Pokemon card. I feel like most of the last few sets I pull like a trainer card or something, which, you know, they're nice. They're fine, but I'd prefer the Pokemon, especially in Scarlet Violet era. Like, I don't know the trainers basically at all because I haven't played it. So I'd prefer getting the Pokemon that I know a lot better, but haven't been quite fortunate enough to really pull the actual Pokemon recently. No, I did not know you. I guess what you give a Pokeball to a Pokemon to hold and transfer them over, and you can use it in the other games. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Some of those Generation 2 Pokeballs, they kind of cracked me up, especially in Generation 2 when they were so poorly implemented. Like, what was it? The fastball was supposed to be, I think, for Pokemon that are fast, obviously, and then what? I think the text made it seem like it was meant for Pokemon that are fast, but then it was like it really only worked on Pokemon that could flee. And then there's what? Only 3 or actually, I didn't. How did I never know? You can touch the Pokemon down there and they turn around. How did I never know that? I guess I've never thought to tap the screen with the Pokemon on it. How did I not know that? But yeah, the fastball in Generation 2 was supposed to, I think it was supposed to work on fast Pokemon, but then it ended up only working on Pokemon that could flee. And it was only like 4 specific Pokemon that could actually flee, and it's like Magnemite, Tangela, Lickitung, maybe. Like, it was just, yeah, weirdly programmed, and then like What's the point of the moon ball? Why do you need a Pokeball that only works on Pokemon that evolved by Moonstone? That's so niche. That has to be the most niche effect of a Pokeball ever. Like, especially what Generation 2, there's 4 or 5 species of Pokemon that evolved by Moonstone. Maybe a few more than that. Chain, I'm asking the same thing. Where is my Shiny Tepig? Where are they? And I'm trying to think. There was like one other Pokeball from Generation 2 that also worked really weird. Implemented strangely. Cannot think of what it is. I think it was the Love Ball, because, you know, breeding was introduced in Generation 2, and I think the Love Ball... I'm trying to remember, is it like, if the Pokemon you're trying to catch is, like, the gender based on the Pokemon you have out front? Something like that. But, you know, obviously they were meant for it to work of, like, you know, male to female, female to male, but they programmed it so it actually worked male to male and female to female. I believe it was the Love Ball. And so Pokemon was unintentionally very progressive back in the late 90s, early 2000s with the Love Ball, whatchamacallit, programming mix up. Visionary, what's up? What's up? We have been at this Tepig Hunt for 3.5 months now. So it's been a while. It's been a second. It's taken some time, but we're not over odds yet. So I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but I appreciate you dropping on by and appreciate the love to the layout. I did my best. I did what I could with it. I enjoy, I like it. I like dabbling in Photoshop however I can, you know, with my limited abilities. I enjoy trying what I can do. Yeah, that's right. It was supposed to work on Pokemon of the opposite gender of yours, but then it ended up working on the same gender. I think they were just trying to be really progressive, and then they had to, like, you know, it's the late 90s, early 2000s. They had to be a little bit more like, oh, it was supposed to be opposite genders. It just ended up being same genders. It's like, I see you, Game Freak. You're trying to send a message, being a little subliminal. Yeah, that's a word you got to really focus on to say correctly. Subliminal. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not opposed to emulators whatsoever. I just want to complete this on a physical cartridge. So, like, I want my Shiny Living Dex to be on a physical cartridge of Black 2, White 2. So that is why no emulation is occurring for this. I am, in some point, planning to expand with more DS's, capture cards, wireless receivers to control DS's with, you know, a singular control point. I've been saying I'm planning on doing it for 2 months now, but at some point I will make it happen whenever I can get myself to stop spending money on other things. But for now, we're just chilling, trying to get this Tepig. This was the first hunt we started up, but then I quickly realized that completing the Shiny Living Dex is going to take an astronomical amount of time if I do all the hunting, like full-on resets and encounters and eggs. And so I was like, all right, how can I expedite this and still make it interesting? So that is where we discovered the cute charm glitch, and that has helped us begin to flesh out the Pokedex a bit more, or our Shiny Living Dex, I should say, a bit more. We're certainly not in the depths yet with this hunt. I mean, this could very much go on for what's really scary is that this hunt could very much end up at like 20k encounters, which means like I mean, shoot, if it's coming up on 4 months and I'm about to hit 7k, then getting to 10k is what, like well over half a year. So getting to 20k, I mean, shoot, God, if this went that long, this hunt would take well over a year. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have fun editing those videos. Video editing is like, it's one of those things I enjoy at first, and then after a decent bit of time, it's like, okay, I'm getting a little impatient. I kind of want to just be done and get the video out. But have fun with that, and good luck with your content. That did just get me thinking, like, if this hunt actually went like so insanely long that I might have to, you know, if this hunt somehow ended up going over 12k encounters, we might have to, I don't know what I'd have to do. Put this hunt maybe on the back burner a little bit and start up some other hunts, because like make other hunts like a primary focus. I feel like goodness, because right now this is the main focus hunt. This is the one we're tackling the most often. But I mean, shoot, if we get to 12k plus encounters and I'm over here for 8, 9, 10 possible months of doing this, looking for this Tepig, this might have to be the one of those things. It's like, okay, now this becomes 1 day a week, and then other hunts become the more primary, while this one just to keep things fresh, keep things interesting. You know, every Friday we do a different hunt than Tepig. Typically, some Fridays I still do Tepig, but after a long enough time, Tepig might have to become like the secondary hunt, and something else takes over as the primary. Breathe some life into our adventure. All right. I think for the next encounter, I want to do a good old Oshawott Snivy tag team encounter. I want to always feel like testing my luck a little bit. Gonna do it a little early today. Gonna try and see if we can't grab us a random shiny from one of those two. We'll try that on the next reset. I swear the left, I forgot to bring one of my drinks in here with me that I meant to bring. The left DS always gets me, because like the lighting and everything and just the way the DS looks compared to the two, because like one's black, one's white. So it causes the, I don't know, white balance, or I don't know cameras super technically, but just the coloring on the left DS is like a tiny bit different because of, I don't know, the camera setup, whatnot. And it's relatively close to what the shiny actually looks like. So sometimes I see the whatchamacallit, the DS on the left, and I think it's a shiny, and then yeah, my heart is like, well, it's not. It's just the lighting. Oof. Yeah, I don't like hearing that because I do not want to end up being that person, but it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen one day. We got hundreds of Pokemon to shiny hunt. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to fall victim to an insanely long hunt like that. So hopefully they can get that Bulbasaur more quickly. I'll wish some good juju on them so maybe it can be returned back. Yeesh, yeah. That's a while. At least I guess with like Fire Red, Leaf Green, the resets are like tiny bit faster than this. Because you just got to grab the Pokemon. Well, I don't know. It might not be like entirely much faster, but like I think it's a decent little bit faster to get through the resets and check the Pokemon. That's really what's holding this up the most, is these resets are just so long because Bianca just doesn't stop talking. Like, she's got to talk to me before I even choose the Tepig, then she's got to talk to me after getting the Tepig. She's got to go through all these little animations, and I'm just like, I just want to check the pig and reset. We can talk about a Pokedex later. It's been a minute since I heard the Dialga and Palkia battle theme song. I was like listening to this, I was like, I do not really recognize this at all. Okay, well, I recognize that little riff right there of the kind of piano, what you call it. Hey. Alright, what do we got? And I just realized I completely forgot to do the whole Snivy Oshawott thing. Very typical of me to do. We're gonna hit 6750 right here, so this will be the reset where we do a Snivy and Oshawott encounter just to test our luck. Just gotta make sure I gotta stop talking, you know, don't bring anything else up so I don't distract my brain by anything, so I can actually focus on choosing a different starter. One of the great benefits of doing Tepig as the hunt is I just have to spam A through the selection menu. I don't have to use, you know, left right trigger to go to a different Pokemon. I just got to keep clicking A, and then once I choose the Tepig, I just spam B. So that is that's the nice part about doing Tepig versus Snivy and Oshawott. But let us see, can our random Snivy and Oshawott encounter bring us any shiny luck? That would be a no. Shocking surprise, shocking turn of events right there. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I am just constantly restarting my game and choosing a new starter in hopes that it is a slightly different color. Real sane people behavior over in these parts. Real normal decision making to devote hours of my life to. Yeah, I mean, it's really not bad. It has gone a lot better than I would have initially thought when I came up with this idea to go on this journey. So we doing pretty good over here. We're doing pretty good over here. But at a certain point, I will lose my mind. This hunt will drive me insane. It just hasn't done it yet. All right, no worries. Thanks for dropping on by. Appreciate it. I feel like it has been a long time since this Coliseum music ended up on the playlist. I'm like looking at the title, I'm listening to it. I'm like, I do not remember this being in the playlist whatsoever. I'm assuming we're still in the playlist. Yeah, we are good. We are good. All right. Do I want to make a call? Do I feel lucky? Do I feel like choosing a number and really sticking with that for the day? The last few times we've been streaming, I just haven't felt like making a call. I don't know if it's because the 50 calls I've made beforehand have not panned out, and so I'm just like, who cares? Or maybe it's I don't know, laziness? Partly. Well, let's see. Am I feeling any lucky numbers today? I'm not personally feeling the 6700s, not gonna lie. So maybe I think it's 6817. How about that? Excuse me. I'm going to put it all on red and say 6817 is the number I feel will find a shiny. Does my feeling hold any weight? No. I have felt we're going to find a shiny a number of times and have been wrong. But it's not about how many times you're wrong. It's about being right once. And that only applies for shiny hunting. There's some aspects of life where like you're continuously getting it right once is the goal. I mean, never give up. Failure is not not the end all be all. Like, keep persevering. All that great stuff. But there are some things where it's like, okay, maybe I don't want to keep you don't want to keep throwing yourself at the wall if there's no value in it. I don't know what I'm saying. I get in these moods sometimes where it's words appear in from my mouth and my brain does not know why where they came from. I really think they need to bring back seasons. I think it's a really good, really fun gimmick, and as far as I'm aware, it's not a thing anymore. I can't really remember, but I don't think it is. I know there's like overworld weather conditions in Sword and Shield. I assume Scarlet and Violet have varying weather overworld stuff as well. One thing that I always I just found weird about the wild area of Sword and Shield was the varying weather across the area. Just because it's like, I don't know, it works better in the 2D games, because even though it's like, okay, how is the weather so drastically different from one place to another? They're not that far apart. Because of like the 2D games and the scale, it's a bit more feasible to be like, oh, well, this is away from here, so it's north, so it's a different weather. But when you're in the wild area, just like, I don't know, being in a 3D environment like that, it's just kind of it can be a little weird to like go from raining to desert to this to that, and it's just like, I've walked 10 feet. Why is the weather changing so drastically across this area? This is a rather concerning what is the word I'm looking for? Meteor. I can't say the word. I hear it in my head. I cannot get it to come out though. What is going on? I can't say it. Meteorological. There we go. That was brutal. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Anyways, I would like seasons to come back. I think they're really cool. I like the overworld aspects of seasons, you know, in order to access. What was access? Got really country there for a second. In order to access certain areas, you know, you need it to be winter, you need it to be fall, because you either need snow to build up to go somewhere, you need a bed of leaves to walk over. Now, obviously, you don't want the weather, the seasons to block necessary gameplay, but using it to like change the route. So like maybe I like in Twist Mountain in these games, when it's winter time, it's like super snowy in there, and so the way you get through there is different than the other times of the year when there's no snow on the ground. I think stuff like that is just fun, like the game changing, but still, you know, obviously not changing in a way that harms it, but just makes it different anytime you revisit an area and it's a different, either maybe different time of day or different weather pattern or season. I just think that kind of stuff is fun for the world of, you know, that you explore. Also, I like the visual aspects that the seasons bring to these games. I like the way they look. Very pleasing. It's very nice. Especially autumn, but I mean, that's probably because autumn is pleasing and nice looking everywhere. the leaves changing, the colors, you know, those are all, it just looks good. Any situation, really. Nice. Congrats on that. When did you get it, and were you keeping track of encounters, or were you just going for it? Or you just maybe keeping track of time? But congrats on that. That's awesome. In my neck. Did not finish talking to Bianca over there. I got, so was it 2916 for all three phases, or just that third phase for Marie was 2916 encounters? Either way, 2916 to get a shiny is really good, so congrats on that. 100 hours though. Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's some time for sure. Whenever we get this Tepig, I'm gonna have to add up the amount of stream time that is taken to get there, to go with the encounters, to figure out, you know, not just how many encounters, but how long did it take for this to happen. Dedication. That is dedication right there. I mean, what, I streamed this three, maybe 4 days a week. Most streams are 2 to 2.5 hours. I've been doing it for 3 months, so that's what, 12. I keep getting female Tepigs over on this left DS, and anytime that happens a lot, I get like in my head thinking that I'm hitting the same RNG seed every time. And probably not, but still I get worried. It's what? It's been more than 12 weeks, really. It's probably been like 14, 15. So let's say 40. We'll say conservatively 40 streams for this Tepig. Say conservatively on the lower end, 2 hours. So I'm probably looking at around 80 hours total, roughly conservatively, right now for this Tepig. Could be more, could be less. I don't remember everything, the details, but you know what, this is actually a fun little number, and we're going to be at 67 right here. So I think we're going to do one singular DS. I mean, obviously we'll do both, but we'll just check one initially, because if we can get a shiny exactly on 67, that's a pretty fun number. So let's I'm gonna grab the Dragonite coin. We're gonna see which game we want to check right here. So I'm gonna say English is heads, Japanese is tails. Okay, well, I failed that really badly. It landed on heads. It landed on the Dragonite. So I say English for that. So we will check this one here first for encounter number 67. Do we get a shiny? Of course not. What about over here? Nope. Who would have ever seen it coming? Summer and autumn. Oh man, GI, goodness. Now my nose is bothering me. Good lord. Oh man. You know, I gotta say, I'm kind of disappointed in this Embor card right here. I'm a little tiny bit disappointed. I really thought it was going to be the, like, just real stamp on this hunt. We'd pick it up, just easy peasy, find a shiny. No such luck. I mean, I guess the card hasn't been up here with us for that long. Can't judge it just yet, but I'm judging you a little bit. Maybe I got to pick up the Japanese one as well. You know, that is what I preferably collect, Japanese cards. So maybe that's a. I'm gonna take it as a sign from the universe. I need to pick up the Japanese one. That might just be a copium and me finding an excuse to pick up another card, but whatever works. You know what? I'm gonna go down a little bit. Lower the microphone a little bit, and we're gonna get situated. All right, what do these two Tepigs have in store for us? Okay, I keep getting female Tepigs on this left DS. Is this just a weird string of like female Tepigs, or am I just hitting the same seed Okay, we are going to establish a new save point for the files. It's probably unnecessary. I don't know RNG that well, but I'm getting superstitious. I'm getting in my head. I feel like I'm just hitting the same seed every time because we keep getting female Tepigs, which should be rare. So yeah, we're just going to let the games run for a second right here and choose a new saving start point, or a new save point to start from. So we will sit here for a little baby second, and I actually think I'm gonna go grab my other drink that I meant to bring in here with me, so I'll be right back. All right, so actually I grabbed 2 drinks. I realized I had 2 opened. I had an open bottle of Lipton green tea and an open Diet Dr. Pepper. So I was like, you know what? I need to finish these both off. Y'all, my little puppy Rai is sleeping soundly over here underneath my folding table on a little blankie. He's just looking real peaceful. So let's see, we need a new save state. Save the game right here. Did I move this game, or is it just like really off center? Maybe it's just really off. Oh well. Okay, Bianca, now that we've established all that, let's keep going. A little closer. I gotta get closer so I can get farther. What do we got now? Sada Turo battle theme. Come on, come on. Why was that happens sometimes? I'm just like, press the button. Press the button. Now we get a female on the other DS. Interesting, very interesting. And you know, this is another number sequence that appeases the brain. So could we get a 6776? You know, we just did 6767, but I don't know. I don't know why I get like weird about the numbers. I just like really nice. I don't know how to describe it. I just like nice numbers. Like they just they just flow. They're not random. You know, they have sequencing to them. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Well, let us see. Can we get a shiny here on 67, 76 encounters? Be a negative. That would be a negative. See, like, isn't that number just appealing to look at? Like, doesn't that just make your brain feel good? It kind of looks like the, I don't know. It would make more sense if it was 8118, but like even this kind of, if you know what the front of a Jeep or like Wrangler looks like, I don't know, I'm getting that vibe from that number right there, but obviously 8118 would make a lot more sense for the Jeep Wrangler vibe, but that's kind of giving me the same, I don't know. I'm feeling it a little bit from that too. I'm like I'm not really congested. My nose, my sinus are like swollen. I think the weather, you know, right now we're in that good old time period where it's like cold in the morning, so you need a hoodie and pants if you go outside for any extended period of time, because it's like, oh, it's actually pretty chilly. Like, I need to bundle up. And then by noon, it's like, okay, well now I need shorts and a t-shirt because I'm sweating. So I think that fluctuating temperature like affects my sinuses, and so, well, my sinuses have just been bad in general. But they had seemed to be doing a tiny bit better, but now that the weather's fluctuating like this, just a little yeah, a little nasal little swelling going on. I cannot tell you. I can like not fully explain how nice it feels to have my cables more managed under the desk than they were. You know, it is certainly still not pretty by any means. You know, on either side of the actual desk, there's still a good bit of just cables everywhere, but at least where my feet are now, there's nothing in the way, which is just a really nice feeling. Because before I was having to be like super careful while I put my feet or like where I moved. I didn't want to unplug like my microphone because the cable for my microphone was just running along the floor, just right in front of my feet. But now it's like, you know, running up the desk and like down over. Same with the cords for like my keyboard and mouse, which those are mainly charging cables. I mean, you obviously can connect to the computer with them, but they also have wireless connection. And then I got an HDMI cable out of the way. That was nice as well, because one of those, the one for my monitor right here, was kind of just hanging down in the way, but now I've got it, you know, curving out of the way. So it's just a nice feeling not having to feel all the cords brushing up against me as I just exist down here. And I would kind of like to somehow figure out how to really make it like prettier, really get the cables out of sight, out of mind. I just don't know how to do it. Like, I am not an organized person, so when I see people's setups on TikTok or Twitter, the like, whatever it is, and it's just so clean, there's not a cable in sight, I'm just like, how did you do that? I cannot for the life of me be that organized. Professor Waifu, what up, what up? Welcome back, welcome back. You ever just see like a little piece of dust or hair just floating around? I just saw a little tiny hair. I don't know where it came from. It was just started floating through the air right here. Trying to shoot away from my open drink. Oh, goodness me. I did not sleep well last night, which I know exactly why that is. I had two regular Cokes and then a did I have a green tea last night? I know I had 2 regular Cokes and some water. Did I have a Diet Dr. Pepper last night as well? I don't know. Anyways, I had 2 regular Cokes during the football game, which started at 7:30, ended by which that game went on way too long, ended nearly at midnight. But me and caffeine do not jive, especially when I drink it too late. So, you know, I opened my second Coke probably at 9 something at night, which I know better than to do that, but it's like, oh, it's here. I never buy regular soda for the house, at least. Occasionally when I go out and eat, I might choose to get a regular soda. Generally, I'm getting, you know, Diet or Zero. But because I had friends over, I decided to pick up some regular Cokes as well. And I guess, you know, my brain was fiending for some regular Coke and was like, I know it's 9 o'clock. I know I shouldn't be drinking this because it's going to keep me up. But I'm doing it anyways. And yeah, I was open until 3 a.m. roughly. I mean, shoot, it's 5:30 here. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be having even this level of caffeine that I'm having right now. You know, being a quarter of a Lipton green tea and half of a Diet Dr. Pepper. Like, caffeine really gets me. Meanwhile, my fiance was over here drinking like whole coffees right before bed and passing out. Just like, how do you do that? I wouldn't sleep for 2 days if I drank that much coffee, and you're drinking it at 8 p.m. and out by 10. On top of that, shoot, my freaking heart would be beating through my chest. I don't know, me with caffeinated drinks, I almost like, you know, if you're drinking alcoholic stuff, it's a good idea to mix in water there with you, you know, dilute it, and helps you just, I don't know, overall feel better and recover better. But for me, it's kind of similar with caffeinated drinks. Like I gotta mix in a good bit of water with the caffeinated drinks that I have. I mean, you should drink plenty of water throughout the day anyways, but the more caffeinated drinks that I have, the more water I have to consume to keep myself from feeling like my chest is going to explode, even though I'm not drinking that much caffeine. It's just, yeah, I have weird reactions with caffeine if I also don't have enough water in my system. And I kind of had like self-diagnosed myself and was like, oh, maybe that's high blood pressure or something. Because I think my mom has high blood pressure. So I was like, maybe that's the issue, blah, blah, blah. And then I've been going to the doctor recently. And every time they take my blood pressure, they're like, oh, your blood pressure is really good. And I'm like, okay, well, this is why I'm not a doctor. My self-diagnosis is apparently very wrong. Oh, let me get my hand out of the way. I was looking around because like I just happened to look at my camera background, and normally I feel like my background behind me is a little darker than it is. I mean, it's always a little dark back here. The big old Dragonite Squishmallow on the desk is kind of obscuring this section of the bookcases from light, but I feel like it's normally darker back there. And so I have a window, you know, right here. I have double blackout curtains on the window, but sometimes light still manages to bleed through, and I think it might be making the background a bit lighter, possibly. Oh, the lighting is about the same as it always is. You know, I've been watching some videos lately that they've been talking about Team Aqua and Team Magma, specifically in the context of like Emerald. You know, one YouTuber, Smith Plays Pokemon, is doing a Emerald fan game, kind of, you know, reimagining the way he would personally want to do Emerald, and was talking about Team Aqua, Team Magma, and I watched some other video where it was brought up. I don't remember what it was, but I never realized kind of how underwhelming Team Aqua and Team Magma are in terms of like battling them. and how they use the same, like, well, each one of them individually use only like 3, maybe 4 different lines of Pokemon, but between them they share like 2 or 3 of the same lines. So like you're just constantly battling the same Pokemon like over and over basically with those teams throughout the game. And like even Archie and Maxie aren't that different from the rest of the grunts or like their admin or anything. And I don't know, I never really noticed just how similar every battle is from those teams. Like it's just a lot of Zubat, Poochyena, and then either Numel for Team Magma or Carvana for Team Aqua. And they might occasionally throw in like something else here or there, maybe a Wailmer, or I can't even think of what, maybe a Ball Toy, something like that for Team Magma. What number did I say earlier for my call? 6817. Try and keep that in mind. We're getting closer to that, and it'll be a little bit before we get there, but I gotta keep on top of that, because I will very likely I'll actually forget. We'll get to like 6820 and then I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot about my call. I'll try and avoid that. You know, I think Ecruteak City, I'm reminded of this because of the Burn Tower theme playing. I think Ecruteak City might be one of the coolest and best cities in all of Pokemon. I just love everything about the vibe in Ecruteak City. It's just so chill. I just like the way it looks. I don't know. Just really, and just really like it. Definitely helps that I also really like Morty, the 8th gym leader. You know, I wish his team was a little better, especially, I mean, in either Gen 2 or Gen 4 remakes. Never will understand why he doesn't have a Misdreavus on his team. They add 1 ghost type to the entirety of Generation 2. Outside, you know, they give us 1 extra ghost aside for the Gengar line. And then the ghost type gym leader doesn't use it. On top of that, it's not even available until the very end of the game. Yeah, and then the lore of Ecruteak is just great. Nah, I don't want to do that. I mean, I've already done RNG manipulation to get the cute charm glitch working to allow us to do that. So when it comes to regular hunts, I'll do it the old-fashioned way and we'll just reset, because I'm already gonna save myself a lot of time with the cute charm glitch for a lot of these shinies. So I gotta do, you know, at least a decent number of them the old-fashioned way. Well, this will put us at 6,800 encounters, and yet we are still looking. But yeah, bringing up Johto and the placement of certain Pokemon, it's like, I don't know, there's this weird philosophy I have where it's like, I kind of don't mind necessarily that there are some new Pokemon in Kanto, because like the post game of Generation 2 is less of a post game if you think about it. Like a lot of games, the post game is a just small little side quest or this, that, here, there. Going to Kanto in Generation 2 is like, you're supposed to do that. Like, that is supposed to be very much a part of the game, a part of the story. Like, you're supposed to eventually culminate with beating and, facing and defeating Red. So I kind of get that to keep things a little bit interesting in Kanto, you want to add new Pokemon over there so that there's something to look forward to or something new to find. So it's like, I kind of get it in that regard, but then I also get it in the regard of like, I'd like to use Houndoom during a main playthrough of Generation 2, but I can't because you can only get it in Johto. So it's like, it's like this weird dynamic of like, I get it, but then you're kind of just stuck not being able to use some of these new Pokemon for the main story of the game, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then in Larvitar and Misdreavus's case, you literally cannot use them for any part of the game other than taking on Red. Like, catching a Larvitar and a Misdreavus is purely for Pokedex completion and potentially raising up a Tyranitar to take on Red. But that's a lot of freaking work to get a Tyranitar. Yeah. And then, yeah, Misdreavus is just... It's Misdreavus, so it's not a great Pokemon. It's a not fully evolved, but it's not a very strong not fully evolved. And so you're probably not really using that against Red. So it does kind of stink that Pokemon like that is really just relegated to the end game, and then there's just barely any use for it. Would have been nice for it just to, hang out in the Burn Tower. Like, I think picking up a Misdreavus around the 4th gym, that's pretty solid. And shoot, if you want to make it a 1% encounter, those can be kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's not too terrible to make some Pokemon rare. I think the 2 gym leaders that kind of irk me the most with the not using new Pokemon in Johto are, well, actually, I guess maybe it's 3. Falkner, Bugsy, and Chuck. Priced a little bit, but I also kind of understand for price. The new ice types in Johto are really bad. Dugong isn't a great Pokemon by many standards, but Dugong's better than Generation 2 Sneasel and Delibird. But yeah, with Falkner, I just don't get why he doesn't have a Hoot Hoot. Never understand that. Why does he have a Pidgey? And then why does he have a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto? Like, if you want to give him a Pidgeotto Ace, okay, not too terribly upset by that. Give him a Hoot Hoot as his first Pokemon. And then like Bugsy, Scyther is a cool lead. I'm fine with that, even though it's a Kanto Pokemon. I think it's pretty sweet as a ace. I guess it's not a lead in Gold, Silver, Crystal. It is in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but I think it's a cool ace for Bugsy, having Scyther. Heracross maybe is a little too strong, and also Heracross would be perfectly fine reserving for Chuck, but then Chuck doesn't have a Heracross either. Chuck also doesn't have a Hitmontop. But I think... I know probably the idea for Bugsy is like, okay, he already has one bug flying type, so the other kind of earlier bug type Pokemon that you can really give him are like the new ones from Johto are Ladybug, another bug flying, and Yanma, another bug flying. So maybe they didn't want to just give him all bug flying types, but then like, if you're worried about making it too easy, you did just give him a Metapod and the Kakuna as the other two Pokemon. It's not like Metapod and Kakuna are really adding much difficulty to that battle whatsoever. Sure wouldn't move for a second to make sure a dog wasn't behind me. I was like, why is my chair not moving? I'm not about to run someone over, am I? Well, I guess there's also Spinarak that he could have used. I mean, he has a bug poison type with Kakuna. You could have done Spinarak. That works. And shoot, he could have had a Pineco. I don't think... I mean, it doesn't really matter where you can find Pineco in the area, in the region. But yeah, he could have had a Pineco, a Spinarak, and a Scyther. I think that would have been a solid Bugsy team right there. And then I don't overly mind Chuck having a Poliwrath as an ace. You know, I don't think Poliwrath got much of any representation or love in Generation 1. So I don't mind that. And really, I mean, Primate either. I don't mind him repping on his team at all. As the, fifth gym leader, which technically you can do Chuck as the sixth gym leader, because you can do Price as the fifth and then do Chuck as the sixth and then Jasmine as the seventh. So as a, fifth, potentially sixth gym leader, I kind of feel like Chuck should have more than two Pokemon. And so, like, why not give him Heracross and Hitmontop? Yeah, his team's really weak to fighting and flying, or not fighting, psychic and flying, but like, it's going to be no matter what. That's just kind of what you get with fighting type Pokemon. The rest of the gym leaders, I'm pretty good with, Whitney, obviously, Miltank, infamous. I already brought up Morty, probably should have had Mistreatus. What have I not talking about? Jasmine, Jasmine's in a weird boat because, like, yeah, she only has 2 Magnemite, which is a little bit underwhelming. Steelix is a really strong Pokemon, though. Especially, like, I mean, if you're kind of new to Pokemon, don't really know what you're doing, Steelix can be really hard to deal with. So I kind of get balancing out her Steelix with 2 weaker Magnemite, but it just kind of stinks that there's like a lot of really cool Steel types from Generation 2 that don't get much, if any, love or recognition, like Scizor or Skarmory, or I guess Koga does use a Fortress. And like, yeah, giving her both a Steelix and a Scizor, maybe that's a little too strong. Same time though, if you have a fire type, especially because her Steelix knows Sunny Day, it'll very much use Sunny Day. Kind of makes the fire type, Typhlosion an easy sweep on Jasmine. I think giving her a Scizor would have been fine. Maybe really strong if, like I said, you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you don't have a fire type on your team, but there are like no good bug moves, or really not many good steel moves in Generation 2 anyways, so. And then, yeah, if you're worried about making her just too strong with like a Steelix and a Scizor, you can give her a Skarmory. Skarmory's another, I mean, it's another defensive Pokemon, but it's not quite as offensive as Steelix is, so there was room to work with Jasmine, but I don't absolutely hate her team. And yeah, I kind of brought up Price, was kind of just stuck with Piloswine as the only usable ice type from Generation 2. So giving Dugong some notoriety, some, you know, usage is not terrible. Kind of wish Seal's not a very good Pokemon though, so, and it's not even an ice type, it's just a water type, so maybe you could have just given him a Delibird over a Seal. Probably same level of difficulty to deal with. Or a Sneasel, honestly, probably pretty on par with a Seal in terms of power, so. And then Claire and Lance. So Claire, you know, I'm talking about gym leaders mainly, but Claire and Lance suffer from the same issue, being that there's no dragon types to use outside of one evolutionary line and a new singular Pokemon. But I'm fine with Claire's team. I could be biased on that one because Claire is my favorite gym leader from Generation 2, but 3 Dragonairs and then, you know, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, they give her a Gyarados instead of, you know, and 2 Dragonairs instead of 3. What did I say? I said about 20 to 30 encounters ago, I'll very likely forget that my call was 6817 and just completely glaze over it. And what did I do? I got talking about something and completely glazed over the fact that I called 6817 as the shiny. And did it happen? No. Did I pay attention and catch it? Also no. All because a theme came up on the playlist and I got talking about Generation 2. Very on brand for me, very on brand. Or well, was it the theme that got... Was it... Yeah, I think it was the theme that made me start talking about that. But I also was speaking on Aqua and Magma having, you know, kind of subpar teams a little bit. So I guess that's just what's on my mind today. What I came up with to talk about. And think, yeah, I was going to say, you know who doesn't have disappointing Pokemon teams and I think work pretty well? Generation 5. I think Generation 5 has solid teams. I like that. I like in Black 2 White 2 that they throw some older Pokemon into the mix a little bit. I also like how in Black and White it's just exclusively new Pokemon. But I think I would lean towards the teams of Black 2 White 2 in terms of how well they'll put together, especially in challenge mode. If you've ever played challenge mode for Black 2 White 2, I like how the gym leader and like Elite Four and champion team compositions are. I like the representation. I like the challenge, I would say, of them. I mean, they're not like the toughest thing in the world, but they're certainly not pushovers. Oh, goodness me. I'm about to let a big old yawn out. Nate, I appreciate the energy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I also, you know what? I also command the game. Well, actually, maybe I might regret that. I think my command is not worth very much. I don't think the game respects me. So maybe I'm going to leave that to Nate. I'm going to leave that to Nate. I'm going to leave that energy to the chat. I am but a humble middleman between the demands of chat and getting a shiny. Ooh, a good combination of the two things I've been talking about this stream. You know, I brought up the seasons from Black and White, Black to White 2, and I brought up, team composition from, games and the like. In Black to White 2, when you battle him in the post game, has really probably the coolest post-game battling team comps in the series, because his team are weather teams that change based on the seasons. And I think that's really freaking cool. Like, depending on what season you go to battle in his castle in the post-game of Black to White 2, and he has a different weather team based on what season it is. I think that's really cool. Oh, I hear the little pitter-patters of a tiny little doggy. Hello. What you doing in here, Leo? Huh? What's up? What's up? Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, you got Ryder up and moving. What are we doing, huh? What's up? You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here. You want to say hello? Oh, okay. We're freaking out. Okay, I'm putting you down. Goodness me. See his little tail down there. He's trying to command his older brother to play with him. He's like, I am bored. Ryder, play with me for all that is good, please. And Ryder's like, I am lazy and I'd rather not. Tepig just does not want to be found. Tepig is being way too hard to get. Playing way too hard to get. See, anyone in the chat have any interesting shiny hunts going on? Anyone also shiny hunting right now? Any extended hunts going down? Anyone have any good stories? I can't say that I do. This is the first time I've attempted a full-on, well, Not really. It's the second time I've attempted a full-on 1 in 8,192 soft resetting hunt for a starter. I did it for Heart Gold, Soul Silver before, and you know, that game makes it really easy to reset and get a shiny starter. So I got a Chikorita out of that a couple of years back. But other than that hunt, this is the longest hunt by far that I've done. So I don't really have too many stories to pull on. Ryder is reassuming his position and Leo is investigating my stuff. I need to actually choose a starter over there. I need to pick the Tepig up. Goodness gracious. Every so often I'll just like randomly somehow tweak like my either lower back or like my hip on the right side, and I just do something and it's just like, oh damn. We in for this roller coaster of a experience. Trying to sort this out while I sit here. Oh, that'll do it though. That'll do it for sure. Oh my lord. Those were some back pops to end all back pops. My goodness. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but jeez. What's up, Leo? He's just staring into my soul. He's just sitting over there just looking at me like, bro, play with me. I played with him all morning. It never stops. And it truly never ceases with dachshunds. Like, if they could command 120% of your attention at all times, they would. Bum bum bum. All right, check out the pigs once again. Not shiny once again. All right, so that is 6840, and I think, yeah, we'll be right, you know, a little tiny bit over an hour and a half. We'll get to 6850, and I think that'll be good for us for today. And then on Tuesday when we come back to inevitably pick this back up, because unless we have a miracle pull through right here in the next 10 encounters, I'm thinking we're gonna have to keep going with this. And so yeah, on Tuesday we'll pick back up with this and we'll push through until 7,000 encounters on Tuesday. We'll do a nice little modest, shorter, you know, Sunday stream, just a little something, throw off some resets, see what we can make happen. Unfortunately, it was we were not making a shiny happen. 10 more chances, so I can't speak too soon, but The odds of it, the odds are not in our favor. But yeah, we'll come back on Tuesday. We'll get to 7,000 encounters. And we will, yeah, hopefully, hopefully get the Tepig to shine. You know, earlier today, I have some Tepig little plushies. They're called Sitting Cuties. They're hanging out in my eBay watch list because I was thinking about getting those, but then I got the Embor shiny card, and the Tepigs have just been chilling there in my watch list, and I got a offer for a lower price on one of them earlier today. And I thought, you know what? I don't need to buy another thing for Tepig to try and coerce the shiny luck in our favor. But now, I don't know, I'm rethinking that. Maybe I do want to pick up that Tepig plushie. Because it's just a little old guy. It is just a little old Tepig plush, and I could pretty easily have it hang out here on my shoulder, and we could be like, you know, Remy from Ratatouille, just hanging out, guiding the way. So maybe I need to cave and pick up that that item off eBay. Take up the seller on the offer for a cheaper price. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Another 2 Tepig. Another 2. We are really loading up on the female Tepigs on our Japanese copy of the game. Like, maybe I'm just not really paying attention. I just happen to be looking at it at certain times. Like, we are just constantly grabbing the 12.5% female encounter just on the Japanese game. Even went out of my way to make a new save point, and I still feel like I'm just getting a lot of female Tepigs on the Japanese game. Oh, excuse me. Goodness. All right, so with this, we got 4 more Tepigs to take a gander at. And Tepigs 68, 47, and 48 come through for us. Oh, well, okay. Now I'm paying attention now. There is a female on the English game, so does that mean anything? No, not at all, but I gotta find something to occupy my time and my sanity to get through this. All right, so Bianca, give us 2 more Tepigs, 2 final Tepigs for the day, and let us see if we can, I was thinking, do I want to try another Snivy and Oshawott encounter here? But no, we got to stand with the Tepig for now. We already did, you know, one of our random little Snivy Oshawott encounters earlier. We don't need a second one, and we don't need to end off the stream on that either, so let us see Bianca for encounters 68, 50. What do we got? You know, when of course ending it off, we got to do it one at a time. So we'll start with the Japanese copy, see what we're working with here. Do we have a shiny? No, we do not. But on our English copy, the copy that we actually are completing this shiny living dex on, will it shine here? Once again, that is a fat negative. So another day of hunting hunting for Tepig, another day we come up short. So as always, appreciate it to everyone who manages to drop on by and sit here, listen to me ramble on while I get a little pig to try and be a different color. So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday trying to get this little pig to shine. So I will hopefully see you all then.